You misled me. When I was first looking at the option of living in a car, I was inspired by someone on YouTube who was long-term camping out of their Toyota Prius. And I thought that maybe even one day they sounded like they were looking forward to maybe living out of their car full time. And so I gravitated toward this person on YouTube and I got real encouraged and inspired. But then I also got let down a little bit when they decided to change their living setup, and uh, the person got away from camping in a Toyota Prius and they got a different type of car, and they got a bigger or a different RV, and they went more towards an RV lifestyle, um, and staying at a somewhat fixed area rather than full-time living in their car, which I was looking to do. And so I'm sharing that small example because you have to be very mindful that people inspire you, and that's a good thing, but you have to own your decisions because people are on their own path. We're all on our own path. You know, I got some resistance a few months back when I was looking at buying a home base, a RV lot in Florida. And I got not quite a few, but I got a few messages on YouTube that were people felt let down because they looked up to me as hope that you can live in your car, have fun, and enjoy your life. And if I was going to all of a sudden change my living setup and have a home base, their hope is gone and I let them down. And I'm bringing this up because it's just human nature. I went through it. People go through it. I always knew in the back of my mind that I own my decisions, that I have to be accountable for my decisions. And you're going to learn that. You know, if you decide to trade a stock, you better not do it because of what you heard someone on TV say. If you decide to move to Florida because of me, and then you don't like Florida, you better do whatever you want to do. You better do it because you want to do it. And then you also have to understand that people change, just like you change. You know, I've often given the example, like, you know, you don't want to go live in an area because you have a friend that lives in that area. And then all of a sudden that friend decides, you know what, I don't want to live here anymore. I'm leaving. And then you're going to be looking like, oh, you're leaving me holding the bag? Like, I'm sitting here. I came to this town. I came to this area because I wanted to be close to you. Now you're leaving. People are on their own journey. You're on your own journey. There's a need for humans to connect. So sometimes we feel when we're inspired by someone, when we connect with someone, our journeys are kind of very much aligned and we feel that bond. But we all grow organically. So at some point, even though you're aligned, at some point, one of the parties may start to go in a different direction on their journey, and you're still stuck here. And you may say, oh, I was led astray, or I was let down. You know, that's how I felt a little bit, but I wasn't blaming the person I was watching on YouTube, but it was just a feeling. I felt like let down. I felt like I was left all by myself. And I want to share this with you so that you have a peace in your soul that, you know, if you decide to do something and the person that inspires you changes how they want to live, that's okay. And it's only okay when you understand that everything you do in life has to, because as an adult, you accept accountability for your decision, and you have to own your life. And you have to eventually get to the point where you inspire yourself, because everyone's on their own journey. Your pastor's on your own journey. Your YouTube star, your parents, and so I just want to point that out. You know, I have no plans immediately to change anything, but I'm making this observation as I'm sitting here reflecting on life and how I felt let down, not blaming someone, but still feeling let down, still feeling like I thought we were bonded. Now you're doing something different. I'm still doing this. Life changes. People change. And that's okay. Don't get sad about it. Just embrace it. Embrace your journey. And embrace the moments of time. Realize everything passes, but don't let that make you sad. Don't let that, you know, just enjoy life as best you can. And make a decision, whether it's living in a car, whether it's moving states, whether it's ever, make a decision and enjoy that season of your life if you do it responsibly. I preach a couple of common themes, and not even preach, I live by them. I try to live by a couple common themes. One is do whatever you want as long as what you're doing is not hurting anyone. Make the most of your life, live your best life, and, keep moving forward. So, if you want to do something, do it responsibly, but then just do it and change as you go. But, if someone who inspired you changes, that's just part of life. That happens. That happens. And I just want to plant that seed of peace. Because I've had to calm myself down when I have felt let down or led astray, when someone else has changed their course in life and I felt like I'm all alone. And I think for nomads specifically, I think we're on average, I think most of us tend to be, I hate to put labels, but introverts, people who like to spend most of their time by themselves. I'm very social, but I do like to spend most of my time by myself. So sometimes when we connect with people virtually, we feel bonded and we feel like, well, that's our connection. And then if someone you meet online like kind of changes and you don't see them anymore, then you feel like the only connection I had is now not even there. And then you can even feel more alone. But look, there's always going to be people that you will connect with. There's always going to be new relationships. There's always going to be a new aligning. Just like in real life, the last thing you want to do is hang around friends just because you were always friends. Friends grow apart. Spouses grow apart. Friends, everything changes in life. And you can't touch the same spot of life twice. You can't move from New Jersey to Florida and then say, what, I miss New Jersey, and then go back up to New Jersey and expect New Jersey to be the same. It's still going to be a cold disaster. But what I'm trying to tell you is you'll never go backwards in life and rekindle what was. Time just keeps passing. Things keep changing. People change. Don't be led astray, but realize you're not being led astray. You're not being led astray by people. People are just doing their life, and life changes. And, so do we. And I want to point that out in this video. Don't feel led astray. Don't feel let down. Don't feel abandoned. Feel connected with yourself and at peace enough with yourself to say, look, I'm owning this decision. And even if I end up the only one doing it, if I'm left the only one living in my, I'm at peace. I'm doing what I want to do, and I accept that. And that's the way to live life. That's the way to live without resentment. That's the way to live without putting people on a pedestal. And that's the way to make real connections. Because when you make a connection and you don't have that expectation, demand, or controllingness upon someone, then you're loving someone freely and letting them change, and you're allowing yourself to change. When you want someone to always be what you want them to be, you are controlling them. And I think we've all done that in life at some point because we're human, and I think we have a need to control things. But I think as we mature, I think we have the ability to grow and mature and evolve and change. I think if you want to be like that, if you want to be one of those people who grows and evolves, I think you have to learn that love is just a free moment in time. Nothing lasts forever, and you just let things grow. You let things go. You let things go. You let things go, and you keep going forward, and you trust the timing of your journey. You trust your decisions, and even if you don't make the right decisions, you keep a positive attitude, and you keep pushing forward to live your best life. All right? Peace and love.